All that nonsense just for me to tell you to watch the Tanner Glenn Show. Find it on a Facebook page near you. Hello, everyone. This is the Pitt State Talk Show. I'm your host for this video's festivities, Tanner Glenn. I'd like to say special thanks to Donnie Miller for allowing us to use his song for our intro video. Donnie, like me, is also from Coffeyville. He's a professional musician from Coffeyville, Kansas, and he's currently based out of Nashville, Tennessee. If you like the song, you can purchase it at donniemiller.bandcamp.com. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. My first guest is Will Hoy. He's a student at Wichita State University, majoring in history. He's a Coffeyville Community College grad. He and I endured the trials and tribulations of macro and microeconomics at Coffeyville Community College, where we both graduated around a year ago. Will, how have things been since?
Oh, man, it's been going all right, trying to keep healthy and all that.
Right. How has your school life changed since, the coronavirus has been going on and we went to all online?
Man, at first I was kind of worried that it would kind of ruin it, and it definitely changed the experience, but at the same time, I'm kind of happy that it happened. Not happy that it happened, but just it's a valuable experience, making me a little bit more versatile, adaptable. And although I do feel like the school year kind of experience suffered because you're not physically interacting with people and all that, it's definitely not as bad as I thought.
Right. So do you know any seniors either in high school or at your college that are not going to get a graduation?
I do, actually. I know a few. My girlfriend, Autumn Mersberg, is graduating this year, and they don't get a ceremony until like July, I don't think. But
yeah. And do you know how she feels about that? What her...
I feel like at first they were all pretty bummed. But as the severity of the situation actually kind of sank in, they understood, like this is something that needs to happen, and it's not fair, but life's not fair, and better be safe than sorry kind of thing.
Yep, definitely. What are your plans after Wichita State or after your bachelor's degree for that matter?
Well, actually, my plan after graduating Wichita State is to go to either KU or Washburn to continue my education into a law degree.
Okay. What are you wanting to do with that?
I don't quite know yet. I want to practice some civil law, not really any criminal stuff. But I'm not sure really if I want to live in a kind of a small town like Coffeyville or somewhere like Kansas City yet.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to mess with that criminal stuff either. We're already kind of delinquents coming out
of
it.
I'd be kind of a punk lawyer too, so I might get some targets on my back.
Right. Okay. So, your Snap stories the last few days have been pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah?
Can you expand on any of those at all for us?
You mean about the Falcon?
The Falcon, yes. Can you tell us what the Falcon is?
Well, see, falcons are birds of prey, and I don't have one.
You do not?
No. And see, that's my plight, is I kind of want one.
Yes.
But in fact, I do not have one. So I've been begging people online to buy me a Falcon. And you'd be surprised by the number of people who've actually told me they've been looking into the price and trying to establish some sort of payment plan with me. But no deals have actually gone through yet, unfortunately.
Is this a black market thing, or is this like eBay?
Honestly, whatever gets me that bird the fastest, man.
Yeah, whatever works.
Yeah, exactly.
So how has your life changed for better or worse since El Pueblito has closed down during this current crisis?
Well, my life has been a lot harder. I've sunk into a bout of crippling depression. I've lost about 30 pounds. I used to weigh about a solid 170. But now my El Pueblito fix is just not there. And I've become a disheveled, shriveled up shell of my former self. It's really terrible. I got my first taste of Mexican food the other day. We went to the El Pueblito in Independence.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. It's still very good, but it's just not the same, man.
Right.
It's just not the same. Leave it to Indy to ruin something good, right?
Well, I used to feel that way, but I don't know how I feel anymore, man. Some Indy people have saved me.
Not everybody can be a winner. It's okay.
Not everyone can be a winner, right? You say it best. So are we going to see you
That's
run
what
for
I'm here for, man.
president someday, or
Do what?
are we going to see you run for office of president of the United States one day?
You're gonna see me win. Yeah, you're probably not gonna see me run.
There
You'll see
will
me
be
win.
no running.
I'll just come in
Okay,
with a landslide victory at the end.
a stairwell glide up.
Yeah.
There's no elevator, just
No.
only an escalator.
Nope. I just go. I'm just there, bottom to the top, dude.
Thank you, Will, for being a part of this test run show. Really appreciate you, man, and it's good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too, man. Stay healthy.
Yes, sir. I'll see you when it's all over.
See ya.
All right. My second guest is Emily. Emily is a student at Missouri Southern State University. She's a musician and is a instrumental music education major at her college. She's also an avid gaming enthusiast. Emily, how have things been going with you since we switched to online classes?
Well, I will just be perfectly honest here, not to harp on negative things, but pretty awful for me since I'm a fine arts major, in music and everything. Our classes and all of every music major, our classes are designed to be in person, especially with performance classes like concert band, wind ensemble. I have small chamber ensembles. We just play in person and we do rehearsals for, concerts. And of course, the rest of our concerts were canceled for this semester, and I'm in multiple ensembles. So that really affected my scheduling. And also I'm in a string technique class where we are learning all of the string instruments, and I only got to learn the viola because we didn't have the chance to play the cello or contrabass because there's not enough for everyone to have one of those to be sent home with. So there's a lot of things that I have missed out on. And, I'm also in a class where we're learning on how to teach elementary students. And, that class involved a lot of us playing little games and singing together. We couldn't do that anymore either because of, the lag of the internet and on Zoom. So a lot of things got cut out for me.
Okay, I see. So tell us, for those of us who don't know, what instruments are you capable of playing?
Well, with being an education major, I have to have basic concepts of how to play every single instrument there is that you can teach somebody. So I have now gone through all of my technique classes, which is woodwind techniques, brass techniques, percussion techniques, and now string techniques. But I myself, I play the B flat clarinet, which is the normal average one you see young students and on playing. But there's also the bass clarinet, which is the bigger one. I know how to play that. Our little baby clarinet is called the E flat clarinet. I play that a lot now in our ensembles because usually whenever you're a junior or a senior, you sometimes get put on a specified clarinet, and then you're kind of that specialist until you graduate for those ensembles. So that's what I'm doing right now. I have been on the drum line at MSSU. I was the cymbal captain last year, so I also have experience in percussion. I've also learned how to play the marimba, and I've been in percussion ensemble, so I've also played steel island pans. I've played taiko drums, the vibraphone. I've played so many of those. I've also been a part of the pet band, which is the band that plays for basketball games. And for that, I played the alto saxophone, so I have experience on the saxophone too. So those are the instruments that I know how to play really, really well. And then I basically have the concept of how to play everything else.
Okay. So when did your love for music start?
I decided in 6th grade, everyone kind of chooses their path right about middle school, to be an athlete, to explore things with art, to go into choir, go into band. And I've always been a nerd at heart, and I've always been drawn to music. So I decided to go with band because I'm not that great with academics. So music is the perfect home for me So that's really when it started.
Okay. And aside from music, you're a bit of a gamer. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what's your go-to game?
That's kind of a tricky question. So, I've really been more of a Xbox enthusiast. I did start, like on the good old Game Boy, and of course, like with all, I mean, consoles are amazing. There's so many that you can choose from. Now we have the Nintendo Switches, which I'm getting one, so I'm super excited. I can hop on the Animal Crossing train. But I mainly play Xbox, and I really like scary games, scary, like Friday the 13th and Dead by Daylight. Those are really fun to me. Also Grand Theft Auto. I know that's kind of like a 10-year-old game now, I guess, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
I really like games that you can, I can play with some of my friends and you can like talk to them at the same time. So it's a really fun activity and hobby for me. And also games, of course, that have really nice and intriguing stories. Those are also a lot of fun to do because it's not just playing a game like people think it's a lazy sport, I guess, but it's a lot more than that. So those are the games that I've really been enjoying so far.
Got you. Well, yeah, definitely the gaming world is developing for sure.
Right,
So,
right.
Were you on the Fortnite? Were you on the Fortnite trend or whatever you want to call it?
Definitely not. I am 100% against, like Fortnite. I tried really hard to like it and just, everyone raved about it, about how fun it was. And it just wasn't, deep enough for me. I like a game that has a little bit more to it. I know there's all sorts of customizations you can do with your character and stuff like that, but I just never really got into it myself because I was a single player gamer for a really long time until I just recently I've been exploring a lot into online gaming and I like it, but Fortnite isn't really my kind of game. So
Got you. Okay, it's more about the story to you.
yeah, right. Because, games like Grand Theft Auto and Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th, they have a little bit of story to it. So, yeah, I've never been a fan. And a lot of people hate on me for it. And that's okay because I hate on them for liking Fortnite. So
Right. It goes both ways, like the Star Wars, Star Trek.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, it's right along with that. So
how has the current coronavirus state of everything impacted you, some of your friends and family and people you know?
Well, both of my best friends actually lost their jobs. One of them was the librarian for our orchestra at school. And of course, when school was shut down, that meant she couldn't do her job anymore. Luckily, the school was still paying them, but, they aren't wages that somebody can necessarily pay off their bills with because, they ranged from like $80 to $200 and it was like all different kinds of amounts of money. And she lives alone and, luckily it is her grandparents' house. So they are helping her a little bit, but she still is on her own and she's really struggled. My other best friend also lost her job because she worked in the mall in Joplin. And of course, most of the stores in there shut down because they aren't considered essential. And luckily her boyfriend, he works at a BioLife. So, of course they've stayed open. So, she was lucky in that sense, but it's still really hard. And luckily for me, at my home, my mom is a registered nurse and she works in a health clinic. So she did not lose her job, but it has been very stressful on her because she is 66. And so, she is in that age group that is most at risk. So that has definitely worried me a lot. But, luckily, if they can see some patients online, that's what they do. But it's still scary, because like my grandma, she's in her 90s, so she's like really at risk for things. And we are kind of her caretakers in the sense that we like bring her groceries or like whatever else she could possibly need without getting them in the mail. So it's just been a little bit stressful. And of course, my brother, he lives in Springfield where, it's a very large population. And there's a lot of people that aren't taking precautions there, which is scary because, their case number is getting pretty high. So that definitely worries me. But luckily, his job is actually out of California, so he works from home. And he was doing that even before this started. So there are upsides and downsides to it. I've been worried about everybody because, this stuff makes me really anxious because I just think about everybody who's being affected, and especially us as musicians, playing music is our lifeline, and the fact that we can't do that, we still have our private lessons, but that's not the same as having concerts or playing an ensemble. So that's really been a big drawback for me.
Got you. Okay. I'm probably going to have to wrap this one up because we went over 10 minutes on it. But I would love to just talk with you. I would love to talk with you just, as long as I could.
Okay.
If we do a second segment, I'll definitely, if you're interested, I will hit you up. And
Cool.
I really appreciate it. You have been very, very informative, and I really appreciate you just expressing what's been going on and your opinion. And you're obviously, a very deep thinker. So
I try to be. I just like babbling when I'm allowed to. So
you've done so well. I'm so happy that you agreed to let me interview you, and I look forward to talking with you in the future.
Okay, great. Sounds fun. Good luck with the rest of your project.
All right. Thank you, Emily.
All right. You're welcome. Bye.
So my next guest is Sydnie Storm. Sydnie is a communications major at Pittsburg State University. She's from Webb City, Missouri, and is a Kansas Association of Broadcasters Award winner for Best Audio PSA. In her free time, she enjoys roasting people who don't have iPhones. Sydnie, thanks for being here. How's those online finals going for you?
They're going all right. They could be better.
So are you taking all of your classes through Pitt State, or are you taking some because you're traveled abroad to Malta? Is that correct?
Yeah, I have 2 classes with Pitt State, but the rest of my classes go out until June 30th.
Okay. So how long were you in Malta? Because I did hear your trip got cut short and you had to come back to the States due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, I was in Malta for a month and a half. I had to come back on March 12th because they kind of demanded all of the students from the States to come back.
I see. Okay. How was it there? Was it just beautiful? What was it like?
Well, Malta itself was absolutely beautiful. You could walk pretty much at anywhere you wanted to. Everything was very inexpensive and fun. And at the club, drinks were free for university students on Tuesday and Thursday. So that was a good time. But there's only one hospital on the island. So that was really not a good thing for the coronavirus coming in.
You said Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's free. Wasn't that a song, Club Going Up?
Yeah, on a Tuesday. I think it's about Malta.
I see. Okay. So to kind of trail back here, you like to hate on people who don't have iPhones. What is the reason behind the shade? And can you kind of just explain that?
iPhones are the easiest way to communicate. I have the trifecta, the MacBook,
the
iPhone, the Apple Watch. I mean, it's just the best.
It's just the big 3, huh?
Yeah.
The best. Okay.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Oh, I see. Okay. Can't beat them, join them. It's a good little phrase. So you said right before we went live, you were making cookies.
Yes. Here are the ones already made, but more in the oven.
So you're a communications baker, but you're a communications major, but are you a baking minor?
No, but my younger sister, she's actually a very talented baker. So I try, but I'm nothing compared to her.
So what do you think Pitt State's going to do next semester? Are we going to be online, or do you think we'll be in person?
I hope it's not online. I mean, I think it will be in person, but I definitely think that there will be probably some sort of drastic change, whether it be smaller class sizes or maybe promoting social distancing in some sort of way. I would love for it to just go back to normal, but sadly, I do not think that will be the case.
So far, other than having to come back from your study abroad early, what ways has coronavirus affected how you've just, done day-to-day life? And other than going online in classes, how has everything been going for you?
Well, whenever I came back from Malta, I had to do the true hardcore 14 days self-isolation.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, everyone jokes about being in quarantine, but they're not actually being in quarantine. I had, like, the state government checking in on me, making sure my temperature was good, and, like, it was actually kind of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sick. It was just because I came from a high-risk area because I flew out of Turkey. So I was in Asia. And I was fine after my 2 weeks. But not even being able to be in the same room as my family, but being home was so sad. But then once that phase was over, honestly, it hasn't been too bad for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can still go outside and go on walks. At my parents' house, they have a forest in the backyard. That's really what I've been doing.
Okay, just enjoying the outdoors and kind of some of the downtime. Yeah. So you said you flew out of Turkey, or you flew here on a turkey?
Out of Turkey.
Okay, that explains it.
Mm-hmm. But I did see a turkey really up close in the woods last week. I've never been that close to a live turkey.
Really?
Yes, it was exciting.
So that was it was better than going to the zoo, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nature walk in the backyard.
Exactly. I've honestly had a pretty uneventful couple of months.
Okay.
I think Tanner just wants to talk to me more.
Do you? I'll neither confirm nor deny. So we'll just wrap it up.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, Sydney, for agreeing to be interviewed. I really appreciate you, and I hope we see each other in person at Pittsburgh this fall.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, see you, Sydney. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to Zach Brown, Joe Pauly, and our instructor, Dr. Jason Knowles. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again, and you have a safe summer. Thank you.